Welcome to another edition of the Gold Nose Podcast. I'm your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. After the regular season concluded, I wanted to take a few weeks off just to recharge my batteries because, like I said, this is a hobby for me. I don't do this for fame or fortune or anything like that. And I appreciate every person that takes time out of their life to listen to me talk about Florida State. So, I felt compelled to do it. I was going to wait until after the bowl game or the week before the bowl game to really get back in the swing of things. But, the news is coming hard and fast. And I just felt the need to, say something about the things that's happened at Florida State and the things with Deion Sanders. Okay, first and foremost, Deion Sanders. I became a Florida State fan because of Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was must-see TV at Florida State when I was a kid coming up. Deion probably kept me out of so much trouble because I stayed in the house and I would watch him play football. So, and I know at least 3 other kids that are grown men now that he had that same effect on. And I know if he had that effect on me, he had that effect on kids across the country, or definitely in the Southeast. So I'm going to forever be a Deion fan. Wherever he goes, I'm going to pull for him. I pulled for him at Jackson State, and now I'm a Colorado follower. I'm not really a fan per se, but I hope he does well. The great thing about Deion being in Power 5 football now is that's going to put more pressure on Mike Norvell to perform. Because I really, I really think Deion is pissed off that he didn't get that Florida State job. I think he wanted that Florida State job so bad that now that he's in Power 5, he's going to show Florida State what they missed out on. But at the same time, if Mike Norvell can meet or exceed whatever Deion's doing, that it's a win-win for the Florida State fans. And I'm not trying to put these two against each other, but they're adversaries in terms of football. They're not on the same team. They're probably going to be competing for some of the same guys. So I love it. I love competition. Competition breeds greatness. So, and to all the haters out there that's getting on Deion don't owe y'all nothing. If you have a chance to go from making $10 an hour to making $100 an hour doing the same job for a bigger corporation, you're going to take that raise. And there's not a man, woman, or child that wouldn't do it. So you stop hating, man. Stop hating. Okay? There's a ceiling at Jackson State. And he exceeded expectations. It's the Celebration Bowl is it. They don't go to the playoffs, the FCS playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They don't play against the best teams in the FCS. There's a ceiling in HBCU football, and they need to crack that ceiling so HBCU football can get even more exposure. But, we see this stuff happen in football all the time where a coach leaves a job and goes to a bigger job. This happens all the time. So listen, man, like the man said, you either gonna elevate or you gonna terminate. So he chose to elevate. And I think he's going to do good at Colorado. I really do. But just watching their videos with their facilities are horrible for Power 5. I see why Colorado sucks. They need to make an investment in football. Their facilities absolutely stink. So, I mean, if they got this renewed investment for football, we'll see what happens. And then Jordan Travis is staying. This is tremendous for Florida State. This is an early Christmas present. I think with him staying, obviously you're going to be in contention for at least the ACC championship. I mean, we got to see what the defense going to look like because we've lost some pieces on defense. And we're probably going to lose more pieces after the bowl game. So it's really going to be interesting to see how Mike Norvell fills out this roster and keeps it competitive. But you got to find some defensive tackles that can stop the run. You got to find some more pass rushers. You got to find some more linebackers. You got to find some cover guys. Offensive line, you got a couple seniors on that offensive line. You know, you got to maintain that offensive line play so Jordan Travis can go out a winner. I really feel like an ACC championship is not out of the question, bro. I really feel like that. So like I said, it's an early Christmas present. Jordan Travis made the quantum leap this year. I think next season he can go into another stratosphere. I mean, this would be his fourth year in the offense, whatever it is. I think he can go to a Heisman level. Okay, if the offensive line and the pieces around him are good to great. I expect at least 10 wins next season. 10-2 is the benchmark for me. But we have to continue to elevate. And I think Mike Norvell he's like a very competitive guy, a low-key, very competitive guy. He's not the type of guy that's going to be like braggadocious and, he just wants to beat you senseless and be classy about it. That's how Mike Norvell comes across. And, I respect Mike Norvell so much, man, because the way he handled the Travis Hunter situation. For most coaches, that could have been a back-breaking situation, but he overcame that situation, had the best year at Florida State since 2016, and just tremendous respect for Mike Norvell. And I know if Deion is successful at Colorado, he is gonna feel that pressure. I mean, you can't be human and not feel that pressure, but pressure makes diamonds. And like he always says, it's about what we do. It's not about what other people do. But there was a large contingent of fans in his fan base that wanted Deion. I necessarily didn't want him as the head coach at that time because I just felt like he was unproven. But he went to Jackson State. He paid his dues. He got a Power 5 job. And let's just see him work his way up the ranks. I mean, if he can go to Colorado and turn that program around, who knows what the future holds. But I think Mike Norvell is going to do great things at Florida State. I think he's got us going in the right direction. And, he's the coach right now. He's my coach. And I'm going to give him all the support that I can as a fan. Like I said earlier, Jordan Travis coming back. Especially I can say NFL too, but college, when you have your quarterback, it makes things so much smoother. And he's going to get another year with Jordan Travis. He's going to get another year to develop Rodemaker and A.J. Duffy. And then he's got the kid coming from Tennessee. So he's going to have another year to develop his quarterbacks. All the while, you have a quarterback that knows the offense pretty much inside and out now. I expect, I said before this season that Jordan Travis needed to take a monumental leap. He did. I mean, he actually looked like a great quarterback this season. Okay? He made the transition to me from just a great athlete who could throw the ball to a real future pro quarterback. He looked like a pro quarterback this season. So I think, I think he's going to perfect his craft even more. And I just see him going to Jameis Winston type level, Charlie Ward type level. Your boy, and I'm mad, I'm forgetting his name. The quarterback of the 99 championship team. Oh my God. My mind just goes blank, but I think he's going to enter that realm. Chris Winkie, man. Chris Winkie. I can't believe, please forgive me, Florida State fans. Please forgive me. I see Jordan Travis going to that level. I really think that that's the next level for him. I think he's going to enter the upper echelon of Florida State quarterbacks, and I think he's going to be one of those players that's going to be in Florida State lore forever. I really feel like that. So I think 10-2 is the benchmark. That's 10 games is minimum that we're going to, say, okay, we're going to win 10 games. Okay, and with the new ACC format, we can still be in the ACC championship game. The only teams on this schedule next season that I feel like we're going to have problems with, LSU Tigers, Clemson Tigers. I feel like every other game we can dominate. If we can maintain the offensive line, if we can improve on every level of the defense, because that defense, although they played well those last 4, except for the Florida game, because they got gashed in the Florida game. Let's just call it what it is. They gave up 38 points. They was giving up big runs. They was giving up bombs. So they did not have a good game against Florida. But the other games, before that, they played pretty well. But those were inferior teams. Now you're going to be the hunted. You're not going to be the hunters. You're going to be the hunted. So how are you going to respond? It's going to be really anxious to see that. With any college football team in today's climate, it doesn't matter what level, you're going to have attrition now because of the transfer portal. And, that's just, as a fan, you can't get mad because a guy's leaving. That's just the nature of the game right now. I mean, I wish all them guys the best. I just hope they go somewhere and they're successful and they achieve their dream of making it to the NFL. I hope they have long, successful careers. I'm never going to begrudge a player because he wants to pursue better opportunities. And, that's really it. I don't like the way that I'm a black man, so I feel like I'm qualified to say this. I don't like the way that black people did Deion or talking about Deion. He sold out. He did this. He did that. If you're on a job and you have a chance, and this is just a regular everyday guy, If you have a chance to go from $10 an hour to $100 an hour doing the same job just for a bigger company, you're going to take that job. And you're not going to care about what people say. You got bills to pay. You got family to take care of. You got yourself to take care of. And everybody wants to elevate their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier on in this podcast, Jackson State has a ceiling. And Deion, I felt like he exceeded that. I mean, he definitely got to that ceiling, but there's only so much you can do at Jackson State, you know. And he was honest from the get-go. He said he was going to pursue those Power 5 opportunities. Now, I think he took the worst Power 5 job in football. I mean, he took the worst Power 5 job in football. I mean, if you watch the video of Colorado's facilities, they are terrible. I mean, it's high schools in Texas that have better facilities than Colorado. And it shows why they suck on the football field, because they really have not invested in football. I mean, when I was coming up, Colorado was respectable. I mean, Cordell Stewart, Westbrook, Rashawn Salam. I mean, you know, they've won a national championship in my lifetime. Charles Johnson. I mean, they've had all kinds of great players come through there. Eric Bieniemy. I mean, Colorado was a power at one point, and now they're just a laughingstock. But I think Deion's gonna bring the guys, but Colorado has to be heavily invested in making that team and that organization better. I'm not a Colorado fan, but I will follow Colorado just because of Deion. I became a Florida State fan because of Deion. I said this many times on this podcast. I don't know where I would be if I was not watching Deion Sanders on TV at Florida State in the mid to late 80s. He kept me out of a lot of trouble. Because, I'm not going to say I didn't grow up in the projects, but I grew up in a semi-rough neighborhood, and trouble was waiting as soon as you walked out the door. Trouble was waiting. I mean, I grew up around kids that liked to destroy stuff. Vandalism was a thing. And I would like to think that me and at least 4 other people that I can think of that grew up on my street that liked football, you know, Deion helped them stay out of trouble too. Because, you know, we just be in the house, man. We going inside to watch Deion. We going to watch Florida State, you know, and that's what it was. And then after he left, it was Terrell Buckley, then Charlie Ward, and, you know, then, you know, so on and so forth. Ward Dunn, you know, and that's just how it went. So from Deion Sanders' freshman year until now, I've been a Florida State fan. And, you know, Deion doesn't know me. I don't know him. But I know if he helped some kids in my neighborhood, he's probably helped kids all over the Southeast, maybe all over the country that wanted to see him play. So I'm always going to follow Deion, man. I'm always going to be a fan. I'm always going to pull for him, you know. And just the people that's hating on him because he took a more lucrative opportunity. I mean, stop that. Okay? Jackson State benefited off of him. He benefited off of Jackson State. That's, at the end of the day, this is a business. And if Deion would have went down there and he wouldn't have performed, you know, if he would have not had the success that he had, they would have got him out of there. And that these same fans that are upset because he left would have been clapping because they got him out of there because he wasn't successful. So, I mean, we just got to stop the hate, man. You know, black people, and I hate getting on this soapbox, but we are our own worst enemy. The thing that I admire about Deion the most during his brief coaching career is that he never tried to use the fact that he's a black man to get a job. He said, I'm going to go out there and show you that I can coach, that I can get the number one player in the nation to come to a HBCU, a FCS school. I'm going to show you that I can get talent to come to this school. Okay? I want the job off of my credentials. I don't want the job based on the color of my skin. And I wish more black people thought like that. Let your resume do the talking. And if somebody decides they don't want you because of the color of your skin, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. You don't want to work for that company anyway. Because even if they give you the job, they're going to expect you to be perfect. They're going to expect the highest, the best performance at all times, and that's not realistic. Okay? Because I guarantee you, if Deion had come to Florida State, the expectations would have been out of this realm. Okay? Just like when Willie Taggart came to Florida State and he inherited all these 5 stars and blah, blah, blah. And he went 5-7 with all these 5 stars and the offensive line sucked. And it was a problem that was being masked for years and nobody addressed it. So, and I don't play the racial game. I don't. Any opportunities that I get, I want it to be from hard work. Not because I'm black. I will not use that as a crutch to get anything. If you don't want me in your store, if you don't want me in your restaurant, fine. I'll take my money and go elsewhere. It's really that simple. So, at the end of the day, I think he's going to go to Colorado and be successful. And I know this is the Go Noles podcast, but Florida State and Deion are synonymous. They always will be. So I'm going to speak on it. I think Mike Norvell has his team going in the right direction. He has the program going in the right direction. I think, like I said, 10-2 is the benchmark next season. ACC champ. We got to be in the ACC championship game. That's non-negotiable. I don't see any other team outside of Clemson that we're going to lose to. We should have beat NC State. We were not prepared for Wake Forest. And I don't really think we were prepared for Clemson. So we've got to find a way to stop the run. We got to find a way to find us some shutdown corners. I mean, I think we're pretty good in the linebacker department. So I think you just need to add some more guys there, particularly coverage linebackers. But, nobody's really announced that they're going pro. They're going to wait. I guess they're going to wait until after the bowl game. My bowl game preview is coming. I don't like Oklahoma at all. They beat us in the championship game back in 2000. I hate Oklahoma almost as much as I hate Florida. So this was a great pick, whoever chose these two teams, because this is like payback. It can potentially be payback for the. And Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator on that team back in 2000 when they beat us, 13-6 or something like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see. It's just, I can't even describe how it feels to to have a winning record and be back in the bowl game and just, people not make Florida State the butt of their jokes. I just can't even put into words how that feels as a fan. Like when you say Florida State now, you got to put some respect back on our name. And I mean, it's just a tremendous feeling. And I just hope that, once we get back to where we want to be in terms of the landscape of college football, that the decision makers, the power brokers of Florida State football won't let this thing fall off again. Like, at the end of the day, we all want Florida State to be a winning football program. And, you just have to put your petty grievances and whatever aside for the betterment of the program. And, the more I learn about Jimbo, he's not an easy guy to get along with, but he won football games. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. So you have to take the good with the bad. I don't think you put the program in a tailspin for 6 or 7 years because of your own personal nonsense. But, anytime it's big time college football, man, you're going to have these situations where money rules the day. And I mean, that's how it is now. Money rules the day in college football, man. And, it's just, it is what it is. The transfer portal, I love it. I love that these guys have an opportunity to find opportunities to get on the field and play. I love that. I love the fact that there's NIL, that they can make money off of name, image, and likeness. I love it. You can't be a hater on that because history has shown that, if you play this game for X amount of years, college and pro, that you're going to have long-term health problems. So why can't a young man benefit off his name, image, and likeness and get paid for it? I've never understood that. I've never understood that if you play football, why you can't make money. How is that cheating? I've never understood that concept. I just feel like if you're going out there putting your safety and your health in harm's way for entertainment, a game, you should be compensated for that. I would even venture to say on the high school level. If a booster of a high school program wants to give a kid a car, a couple $100, whatever benefits he can get, he should be allowed to take that. Because in all other jobs, okay, if somebody gives you money, nobody's going to say nothing. If somebody gives you a gift, nobody's going to say nothing. Nobody's going to call you a cheater. So I don't feel like it should be like that in football. But, different standards for different people. Different rules for different people. So, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm happy Florida State is back in terms of the national scene. I don't think we're back up to the standard that we all know Florida State should be, but we're getting there. And I love the fact that Deion is getting his opportunity. If he goes to Colorado and be successful, it's just a matter of time before big time schools start calling. I intended to take a break until the bowl game, but I just felt the news in college football and Florida State was just so compelling that I had to put something together. So, as always, thank you for listening. The podcast is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. And as always, Go Noles.